All right, we here. We'll start a few minutes early. What time is it? Well, I guess y'all can tweet, hit the hometown member, tell them we already up. We up and cooking. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? We like some good hot grease. We frying. Isn't that right? Smell like that. Y'all had that frying rolling. How many days a week you fry? 8 days. How many? Must be nice. Y'all use the air fryer? Why? What's wrong with the air fryer? You like your grease? How many of y'all like the air fryer? That thing's serious, boy. He like the air fryer. Dan, you like the air fryer? He don't know. What you like better than the air fryer?
I only use it for a couple of days.
Like what?
Fish.
Fish? You can put fish in the air fryer? I ain't never did. Does it crunch like it look like been fried? For real? I ain't never did fishing. I'm telling my wife we gotta try something. Down at the chef boy, you don't like the air fryer? You ain't use the air fryer? Man, the air fryer serious. Boy, you listen, clean fried chicken. Listen, and they quote sweat. I'm telling you, if nobody don't tell you, you will never know. It shocked me. I'm like, it's fried chicken like in the air fryer. I love it. Anything? Ask Mike. I know who you're at. Pork and Mike. Pork and Mike know that. He'll know how that work out. He'll know if his pork bacon work. I'm telling you, never tried that air fryer. Listen, that thing revolutionary. That thing, a lot of women get gone to air fryer. Once men learn about it, no grease. I ain't never. Listen. I had the. You ain't had the air fryer. You ain't used it. You don't know what you messing, boy. Look at the air fryer right now. You got 6 air fryer. That thing right up on the. I'm telling you, man, that thing's so convenient. It's just hard. To me, it just blows my mind the fact that you would actually think somebody fried it and it came out of air fryer, no grease. It's really good though. For those that had used it, it's convenient. You got an air fryer, Henchman?
Yeah, I done tried it twice. My chicken just ain't coming out.
The chicken ain't coming out right. What's it? Thinking that she want to shout. It's how she don't know how to work it. You need to go back through the class. That's all you have to do. Get that class. That air fryer, I'm telling you, that air fryer the truth. I usually don't just go for that. That George Foreman grill messed a lot of folks. I remember a lot of folks brought them in. But you saw everything phased out. Man, everybody holler, get your George Foreman grill. George Foreman grill. George Foreman grill. Now everybody no, ain't nobody got one. George Foreman makes some money. That was, I don't know what, I might get me one just to get it. Probably ought to get out eBay about $5. Then they came out one you can cook 8 and 12 hamburgers on it. Man, they had the 4, you can cook 4 or 2 on there, then they went to 12. I said, oh yeah, he finna shut that thing down. But I mean, now you gotta get more technical now. Everybody on the go, ain't nobody waiting on that. By the time you go buy some grease, pour it up, wait on it to get hot, then put something in it, then wait on it to cool, then pour it back up and try to keep the crumbs out. Them days done got old now. People ain't got that time they used to. That's like microwave. When microwave came in, so I grew up, when we didn't have microwave, you had to warm everything up on the stove. You warm the whole pot up, you warm the whole roast up, and you let it cool, and you put it back in there. You get about 2-3 days at that time, throw it away. Don't hit the heat too many times. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? You have to learn to wait, though. Like, folk can't wait, they can eat raw. It's bad right there. It ain't wrestling either. It's raw. You joking now, it's a different mindset, isn't it? Yeah. But at one time, that's how we came along. I tell you, it's a lot of stuff now. If you go back, you'd be surprised. I do a different eating style kind of workout. I do stuff. It's a little different, a little slower. But at the same time, you look at, trying to learn to kind of have more control, understand what you're doing versus trying to see how fast you can get through with a thing. Because we don't win so fast, we do stuff. That's why we've been missing stuff. Even to go back through the word, you see, we take our time and go back. Little word we found out are very essential to understanding of it. But when you just going, like holiness, I came up, we were fast paced. How many scriptures you can call? Get all these scriptures called. Man, he called a lot of scriptures. Man, how much of it did you understand? So the difference now is that we get the opportunity, and that all kaboot to Mr. Yahuah. It's nothing we can do of our own. It's the fact that he allowed us. Because, we were good at the speed we were going. It's like we weren't complaining, we're not getting no understanding. We're going so fast. We was good. That's the speed. That's the pace. You keep up and you get lost, and that's how we go. But then we realized all we were doing was skimming. We ain't getting no understanding. And I appreciate Mr. Yahuah for the end, just slowing us down, enabling us, giving us the ability to be able to just sit down and look at it and make sure we understand it versus you're on a time restraint. You got to get it right now. That's it. No, I got to get it. Before we move any further, we need to make sure we understand it. So as we keep moving, now we can really see our progress because our understanding is being more enlightened. Versus you just, man, we had 28 scriptures got called. How much of it did you understand? You know what I'm saying? It's not a game. This is our life. And I tell you, the more and more the more I wake up, the more I really consider how appreciative I am that he spared me. Because, everybody ain't getting up. My wife claims, she said I stopped breathing that night. I said, how you know? Hell, you be asleep. She probably be dreaming. She said, you'll stop breathing, then you'll just start back, you'll be coughing. I said, uh-oh. I had to cut my life insurance down. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nobody, you said stop breathing, they just leave like, then they just put the pillow over your face. You know what I'm saying? Don't call no more, just wait. You know what I'm saying? Wake up, you got some milk, your shirt, everything wet. Well, she done stuck ice cubes under me trying to start her own little embalming. So that's for everybody, husband and wife. Look at how much insurance you got. Live and have enough where a nigga gotta wake you up. You see what I'm saying? Go to sleep on them something. Then they be thinking, if you die, I can't get my money. I'm saying they're gonna fight to get you back up. I remember my sister started choking one time. She was in the wonder. I got out trying to figure out what was wrong with her. She said, we had to bet in the hand to wonder. She in the one time figure out what was wrong with her. She was choking. I hit her back with her. And I was like, goodness, she had swallowed my dime. My mama talking about, damn, that's all you worry about your money? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, hell, if she'd have died, that's what died. Mind you, that's when candy bar was 10 cents, 15 cents. I ain't need but a nickel. You know, when you little, you think about a candy bar, your sister or brother, candy bar. You know what I'm saying? Come on, elementary. Come on, ain't no kid over, ain't no brother and sister worth more than no candy bar. No Snicker look bigger back then. They lasted longer. And that right, they had a real chocolate caramel. Yeah, I needed that dime. That's all I'm saying. I need that dime. That can't. Man, then you get one of them little frozen drink thing in the cup, man, the Kool-Aid freezer. Then what dime? You think about that. You think about that. Third grade, your little sister, brother, of course it wasn't that bad to happen, but just say they passed on or moved on. One of them frozen drink, Kool-Aid, the cherry one, and your tongue be red. A Snicker bar. They're gonna be tight. How many of y'all you thinking about it? You trying to weigh the value? You talking about third grade. That tight. Third grade rationale, candy bar. Ain't that right? Oh, y'all want to talk about it now. That's why you gotta treat your brother and sister right. Ain't that right? So don't be praying to trade you out for no candy bar. Ain't that right? Or no Snicker. I definitely want to trade it for no Milky Way. It's because I hate Milky Way. Me and my sister, we stayed into it. We got along better when we got older, but we stayed into it. I don't know what it was with that nigga, but we just didn't get along. Some folk, y'all can just see each other and just realize we just ain't gonna make it together. I don't know how we got here. We just can't get along. It just never happened. We just really got along. We loved each other now. We just hated each other. It do like y'all, who understand what I'm saying? We loved each other now. We just hated each other. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't them love-hate relationship with them. And you get over-related. It'd be good to see brothers and sisters and all get along now. You see that. I don't know what it was in the 70s. I don't know what the music. I don't know what the afro. But some just didn't let us get along anyway. But, you get past it. Appreciate being grown now. Everybody else doing all right? Glad you're alive. Because there's always an alternative. You don't have to be alive now. I thought about it. I said, when we get up, somebody else stay asleep. I don't know if it's, that's just me just thinking. I kind of way, it's almost like a bargaining game. It's like he got everything set up on the system. It is, just as soon as somebody come out, somebody leaving. You know what I'm saying? You find out 14 people killed. They go, oh, it's tragic. But go find out how many were born. People don't really, I'm not minimizing the extent of how people killing each other, but at the same time, we celebrate lives that come in. I'm just glad to still be here for now. I know eventually I'll be in one of them numbers. You will too. That's why it's important we come here to make sure we examine ourselves, and as the book says, see if whether or not you're in the or now. More precious thing you got is your nefesh. And you ought to be considering. Everybody, daily, you ought to be considering, the time and patience he had with us and how he allow us and he don't cut us off and give us more than extended time to get it right. He really does. He give us more than extended time. And I've come to understand he fell with everybody. We might not think he fell, but he fell. He more than fell. The fact that he didn't cut us off the first time we did wrong, and then when we knew to do wrong, knew not to do wrong, we still did wrong, he didn't cut us off. You can't ask for nobody to be no fairer than that. They ain't come and ransom his being for us. You know, you might look at other people's situation. I know somebody, I mean, don't say like he was fair to them. That's cause that's your analogy. That's how you see things. You don't know what Mr. Yahuah saw, how things worked out, or how Mr. Yahuah saw things. There's always a reasoning why. It's a reasoning why. Don't ever look at sometimes you look at people, you say, oh goodness, I wonder why or whatever. It's beyond my comprehension of why. But I know one thing, he know why he did it. He know why he did it. All I do, I just appreciate how he made me. I did. It was a lot of stuff I felt like I was jilted on and felt like I could have had more of. But at the end of the day, when you see other people's situation, you appreciate for what you got. You'll learn to be appreciative. I'm telling you now, because you can always have less. Somebody say, I ain't got that much money. You can have no money. Or somebody say, well, I ain't got no money. How about if you ain't had no money and no eyes? And no legs. Isn't that right? You walk around one of them Christopher Reeve straws. Isn't that right? You can put that cape on that wheelchair you want to. You ain't getting out of it. That man, Yahuah, I'm telling you, you go back and consider for everybody. That man had definitely been Yahuah with us. And a lot of times we unappreciative people because we get caught up in other things that we see, other things that we like, other things we want to do, and we don't consider, shoot, that man been Yahuah in us. Spared our Kai gives us. Then the thing about it, you can look at a lot of people out here living, and you say, well, those people don't even acknowledge them and they living. Well, the thing is with them, those people don't have a reward. I'm working for a reward. I appreciate he allowed me to acknowledge him, consider myself. Isn't that right? And just consider just how Tubi been to me. You keep living, you'll see it. I tell you, when you'll really understand it, when you stop living and you come into my spot. If you don't learn to appreciate it now, you'll, as they quote unquote say, you'll wish you had it later. That's a good time for everybody to consider where they at and start making preservation and reservation. Make sure you're right. And start going down that chart. Look at where you're supposed to be, because our goal is to get the Talmud complete. What you do is go back over your checklist. Sometimes you'll have different things. They'll give you a checklist. You have a whole bunch of papers. They check out what you got and what's missing. Go back and see what you got and what's missing. Sometimes, folks, I just keep it up here. Go back and look at your checklist and see what you need to clean up, what you need to complete, what you need to finish. Because at the end of the day, when you come back here, you won't be completed. Isn't that right? I hear a couple of people, I don't know, maybe y'all got a different understanding. I mean, at the end of the day, what we here for? Or be make sure we're right. That's what I'm here for. I'm making sure I'm here to try to make sure I'm right. This is the side I got to be on if I'm going to get right. I can't do it myself. I can't go and count my own self, look up my own self, decide for my own self I'm right. I got to do it according to the rule. That's what the book said. The man left a measurement. Ain't no more than 4 times. I mean, I guess. You know, ain't no guessing. He ain't leave nothing for no guessing. It don't make no sense to do no guessing. We supposed to know. Isn't that right? Even Shachar said that we know that the mashpat of Elohim is according to a mot against them which done such things. He said we figuring a guessing. He said we know it. That's according to a mot. Everything Yahuah do, it's according to the truth. And whether you understand or not, it's for your job to make sure you get understanding. Get under somebody that can instruct you, that can lumber you so you'll know. You don't want to be doing no guessing game. That thing winding up. You got to be right. Man, the whole world going crazy. They just ain't telling you. These people from one end to another ain't nobody. Listen, these world leaders, a lot of them, they getting sat down. Pakistan, they got a new leader. They had kicked them out. They got no confidence. Both try to get rid of Boris Johnson over in UK. He gonna be out of that next year. I mean, they get rid of these people. Man, listen, Yahuah told y'all the powers of Shaman gonna be shaking. Y'all heard that before? I know what you were thinking. You were trying to look for them cougar beans. You can't handle them cougar beans falling down their planet. That's not your problem. He's trying to tell you about these people that sit in these positions. He's shaking them up. Over in Africa, other countries, y'all said these folks getting rid of these world leaders. Yep. Listen, they ain't making it to election. Nigeria leader already done told he not running no more. They got somebody up in to take years over there. Listen, when world leaders start getting removed by people, it's time. He told you. He said the power of Shaman gonna be shaking. They coming down. See, these people sit in an exalted position. Yahuah gonna bring them down. That's why we got to start looking. You better consider. You know they've been waiting for one of them cougar beans to fall. That thing bust your damn head off. They gonna learn that you gotta sit right, because they looking for one thing. He trying to tell you these people sit in position. He told us second word in the book of Ephesians. He told we wrestle against Ruach and Wicked and Rosha and sitting in high places. That's what people be bringing them down. These people can't hold these positions for long. Trump, look at them, all of them riding. You ain't never seen no president get out of office and have to battle much of he doing. Take away the Fifth Amendment for him. Man got to give him and testify, bring him in a state, they're going to prosecute him. Georgia trying to prosecute him on fraud. They ain't never seen a town they'll put that much pressure on him. They let Tricky Dick walk out of there. That's what they called Nixon. They used to call him Tricky Dick. They remember that. Don't y'all remember Ain't Smith? Don't worry about it. Uncle Terry remember. How many of y'all remember that? That's what they used to call him. Yeah, Nixon. They used to call him Tricky Dick. He tricked, he screwed him. They set him up. So these people want to get ready. They set you up. These people get you out the way. A lot of times, y'all will sit back, you'll want them position. You don't want the position. Trump got down there, whole family in the mayor. He was better off keeping that Miss America pageant moving on. Now he finna suffer at the hands of them people. So there's some people control this stuff. Look at all them people from Russia, all them oligarchs. They taking all their stuff, seizing all their stuff. These people that control government, and now all your stuff getting snatched from you. That let you know it's a turn of the tide on these people. And then when these people start clashing, look at that, everybody will start hating each other and warring. They make all up fight. These people at war. Why y'all think the world messed up? This a billionaire fight. Man, these people got so much money. Listen, the yachts they on Putin yacht got snared. His yacht was over $1 billion. That's more money than niggas got. He put that on a yacht. All the poles, listen, the tissue rolls, pure gold. Well, don't worry about hell, the tissue ain't gold. Man, I put that little tissue on some wood. That ain't impressing me. I guarantee you the bathroom, he gonna find that tissue still on the floor, that roll gone. And I ain't planning on staying on that boat. I'm jumping over the damn water too. I already know he gonna kill me. Ain't that right? I'm going straight. Man, let me find a side to go down. Your tissue on the ground, I'm gone. Ain't that right? If I ain't been a thief, I'm gonna turn in one today. Ain't that right? I'm gonna pull nigga I sit on here, I'm stealing. Man got marble floor, damn floor. This man got a damn floor. The whole damn floor open up and turn into a pool. That's what he got in one yacht. What, Putin worth what, about 140 billion? Look at Mr. Yahuah though. He done shook his world up. Start locking them accounts down, stuff getting down. You can't do what you used to do. Man, listen here, it's turning on all these people. Everything turned Trump, everything turning back on them. They made us suffer a long time. Now it's turning back on them. I don't pull out nothing to for them. Don't allow nothing to for these people. It's time for them to suffer. These people and the people they come from are the people that control the slavery, the sex trade, this child sex trading stuff. You know what them? What poor nigga out here can afford to buy a damn slave? How shit is, man, I ain't got time to drive. He'll tell us, you better walk her ass over here if she want to get kidnapped. I damn sure ain't gonna drive her. How you gonna be a child kidnapper sex trade with all this damn high ass gas? See, everything we're going to do it right here. All the kidnapping sex is going to be right here in the same spot. Gas too damn high. Hello? Yes, how far they driving? Man, a tank costs you about, what, $100-something? Shit, ain't going nowhere. There's a lot of crimes to stop. I'm like these on the spreadway. I start blowing. I say, where the hell y'all going? I damn near can hardly afford to get. Why y'all ass going when y'all got the spreadway blocked up? Gas too damn high to be stopping. Shit, I run y'all. I got to keep going. Especially we going down the hill, I got to take all that momentum. I'm saving gas. I cut off. I got to, you know what I mean? They say you'll burn more gas starting it up. I hit your ass. I'm just to leave a note to keep going. They want to get you some little in-debt card, write all your information, and if you hear something, just throw it out the one and keep going. It's too hot to be sitting still in that heat, and damn sure gas too hot to just be sitting out burning away. All right, y'all, let's see, it's going to come out later. When I start the bidding, now watch everybody try to get it. Ain't that right? It's going to be I hit you. And then put on in that car, have all your information, or you can put somebody else's information on and throw it out. Just walk around, get people tag number, get their VIN number out the windshield, just ride on your history, just throw it out the window. At least you tried to be honest. Y'all pray about it before you hate me. At the end of the day, like I said, we're here to make sure we get that right, right? All right, we're going to try to get ready to go forward and try to let them get ready to sound the Katos around. All of that able. Most High, Kudash Abba, separated Father, Hadu, for all you done, thanks, for rendering your being, which is your Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, which is your salvation, the Anointed One, for ransoming our Kai, which is our life, from the beth of bondage, from the house of slavery, giving us an opportunity to be able to yakra upon your Shem, which is called upon your name, allowing us to be badal from our Rosha ways, which are our evil ways, baraka us to do that which is designated by you to be Kudash, which is separated. Baraka us that we might be Sadiq and Sadak, which is righteous and just. Baraka us and let your pioneer or upon us and be our encampment and our protection, which is your face and your presence. For we are Yakra by your Shem, which is called by your name. Baraka the Berith, you Shabbat to Abraham and Yatsakak, Jacob, the Yahudim and Yasharal to their Tuladaf, even unto us and our Tuladaf, which are our generations, that you will recover us and blot out all of our Kata and Ma'al, which are our sins and our transgressions. Baraka those watching in that seek you, that Yakra upon your Shem, that ask us to palau for them and with them, grant them their lost desire, continue to be a healer to the sick and afflicted, especially Akuf Nikki, continue to strengthen her and be a Nakum unto Chris. Baraka out of towners that they faint not and strengthen them withal. Those going through wars and famine, pestilence, earthquakes and storms and floods and fires, whatever the situation, circumstance that you allow and you mandate in order to cause us to turn back before it's a long too late, which is forever, everlasting too late. Allow your will to be done and manifested among us, that we will repent and acknowledge our Rosha Durak, which are evil ways. We've gone wrong and we katard against you, which is sin. We fell short of the mark that you set forth. We desire Rosha things, which are evil things. We lusted after. We turned away and we desired things that are contrary to your Kudash will. But because of your bin, which is your Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, you've allowed us this opportunity to confess our faults one to another, to make acknowledgement that we might be received into your alarm habitation, which is your forever dwelling. Baraka your Shalakim, which are your sent ones, in every Malkum whom you sent forth to proclaim liberty to a bruised arm, which is a people. Baraka your Shamaim, your Sabut, the heights expansion where you dwell. Baraka Jerusalem, the city, the foundation of Shalom. Continue to be with us, that we might acknowledge you in every Durak, which in every way, that you might halah our path, which is direct or guide our path. As we prepare to move further, we allowed and that you will search us and see if there be any Rosha Durak, any evil ways, cast it from us and lead us in the Arak everlasting, which is the way of life. Let the debar of our paw, which are the words of our mouth, let the meditation of our laws, which is of our hearts, be acceptable in your which is in your sight. And as we prepare to move further, we allow in which we ask that you take full control, that you get the tahalim, the praise, the kabud, the glory, and the kabad, the honor. In the Shem, which is the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, let us all say, Amen. All right, we're going to start over here as always, Romans 15:4. This is the Word program, so we're looking at this. So this is only one program we use. Sometimes we use Beth HaMashiach, but sometimes we go through his writings, his lessons, we'll find out there are some things that are discrepancies there. And with all these people, it's for us to investigate to make sure things are as they're supposed to be. Isn't that right? So I think for me, having a basis, a premise for why we do what we do, I believe that it helps us to get an understanding so we can be able to decipher between what seemed to be added, what seemed to be contrary to a pattern, okay? That's what we're looking at, a pattern. Okay, listen, this is Romans 15:4. Listen.
For whatsoever things Nikatar aforetime,
for whatever was written before,
Nikatar for our lament.
Show us and teach us, instruct us. Who was that? Jonah. I hear you, Jonah. What else?
That we, through endurance.
That's right. Going through without giving way. Just don't quit.
And Nakum of the.
That's right. A reward for Nakum Or consolation
of the Kitabim
of the writings.
might have tikva or yakal.
Yeah, we're looking to have a cord or attachment or your call, or we have an expected wait. That's right. That's our goal. So we sitting here, we waiting on something. I think we were talking in the second chapter, the book of Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 2. Let's see something. When we left off 7, all right, I'll do 8. Let's see. I want to try to, if he allow, maybe to finish up some things I didn't finish up. So we want to try to make sure we got clarity. So as we move forward and we start to move into other things, we covered it. So we ever come back across it again, it's our goal to try and make sure we understand it. How about that? That's the goal. That's the aim. All right, this is with 2 and 7. I put 2 and 8. That's fine. 2 and 7 Ephesians. Listen.
That in the ages to come, he might shew the exceeding riches of his chesed and his kindness toward us through Mashiach Yahushua.
Well, because it started at 7, the way it started, I got to look at 6. Oh, excuse me. Because it kind of put me somewhere. Yeah, I need to see what he did. We kind of start in one of those spots where it don't really kind of give you clarity on what you're doing. Okay. Well, go to 5 now. 4? Oh, let's see what 4 starts at. We'll come down. Okay. Let's see. Listen.
But Elohim, who is rich in Rakam, for his great Ahab, wherewith he Ahab us, even when we were moot in Kataim, hath quickened us together with Mashiach by Khan Yar Yasha.
So by favor, he said that's how you're saved. And we find that out from verse 4. We come back down again, which he was telling us, but Elohim, who is rich in Rakam. We know when a person is rich, there's a person that typically has abundance of something. Well, that's what he told us. His riches was not a carnal wealth. His riches was in Rakam. Let's look up mercy. What definition they give for mercy? We know sometimes it might go to chesed, favor. It depends, or they might say con, grace. And so we try to see how they're using it. Our definition. Yeah, the definition. And the strong book can play a major part in certain things. Because other thing about it to me, when you're using it, you got to go back, like for the New Testament, you got to go back to look at what was the Greek meaning. The only thing about when you go back and look at the Greek meaning, you have to find out, first of all, was they writing in Greek or was they writing in Latin? Otherwise, you're looking at a definition of a language that they weren't using. It's not necessarily a given. Although they was under Latin rule, Greek still was a major influencer in different discipline. It's not necessarily so that they actually wrote in Latin. Y'all got it? That's not necessary. Whose letter we reading? We reading Cuff letter? I'm sorry, Shaul letter. So we reading Shaul's letter, and Shaul could speak in Abari. And he was brought up, and he was taught in. So now, when you consider certain things like that, you really have to kind of have to think about how much relevance you have to put in when you start looking at the Greek meaning for it. Because you're looking at the Greek meaning for when the Latin was the ruler at the time, Greek was still some of their discipline because the Latin stole from the Greek. But the person that you actually taking his writing actually spoke fluent Hebrew, Abari. So are we saying he wrote in fluent Abari and that he wrote in Latin? The man said he was a parashim, which was separate. They were the separatists. The man told you he was a teacher of it. So you see how just considering little things like that makes a difference when you start to go back and look words up and say, well, let's go back and look at the Greek meaning. That will only be really essential for us if he actually will write it, if that was his discipline of writing. Like me, if I say something, it would make sense to look it up in English because I speak English. That's my discipline. The things I know are basically English, the English discipline. So you can check me behind English, but it's going to be kind of difficult to go and check somebody who speaks fluent Abari. You know what I'm saying? The man's a teacher of the Torah, and yet we're going to go back and look it up in the Greek. Y'all see what I'm saying? That's going to be kind of, whether people think about it, sometimes you got to kind of look at things. If you look up Cuff, they're going to tell you his name is Spanish or more Latin, what they're going to call him, and then you're going to try to get, the man walked with Yahushua. The man was taught by Yahushua. Hello? So then we had to go back and look at Shaul. Shaul said he was taught at the feet of Gamaliel. So we had to look at Gamaliel to see, was he a Latin speaker or did he speak Abari? He said he was taught the perfect, which is the complete. We said perfect. He said he was taught the complete Torah. He said at the feet of Gamaliel. Wow. Just something to consider. That's all I want y'all to just think about things. Because how they leave us, we just go look at this stuff and automatically it's right. And that's not necessarily so. I need to first find out, what did the writer write in? What was his writing discipline? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he was able to speak both languages. He was born in Italy. He was born in a Roman town. Yet he told you he was brought up at the feet of Gamaliel. And Gamaliel was a doctor concerning the Torah. He taught people that taught other people how to teach the Torah. So if I'm teaching other people how to teach the Torah, I have to know it. I'm teaching you to go and teach others how to learn it. You know what I'm saying? Or teach them what it is. So you're getting it from somebody, he has to be very strong in the discipline. Y'all understand that? These are things I think about just looking at some of this stuff. So I don't ever want to, and let me say that, I don't want to say that to be combative and look like I pick and choose when I want to do something. But I just want us to look at, as we going through and we start to look at things, don't get too set on nothing yet. The way of Kudash is right. I don't have no doubt about living Kudash. Y'all got it? I have doubts about other people telling me what things mean. Y'all got, simply because it's going to be a difference if that's not your language and that's not your discipline. You got these people telling me, which don't make sense. There's only two ways to look this up. You're going to look at it in the Hebrew, as they call it, and the Greek. Why are we not looking up in the Latin when they got a whole book written in Latin? They have a whole book written in Latin. There really shouldn't even be a New Testament in Greek. It would have been a Johnny come lately after the Latin discipline was in, Roman discipline was in. But yet you don't look it up in the Roman or look it up in the Latin, you look it up in the Greek and you look it up in what they call the Hebrew. And the Greek is for the New Testament, not for the Old. There should be a Greek for the Old. Since you have a Septuagint, which you claim is our Old Testament, then you should have a Greek for the Old Testament. Y'all, that makes sense to y'all? Yet your Greek is for the New, and Rome was the ruling power at this time. Shaul was brought up in he was born in a Roman city. He was a Roman citizen. That's why he told him he appealed to go see Caesar. He let them know, I am a Roman citizen. That the things they were doing to him was not lawful according to the laws of Rome. Yet we look up what he said in Greek. Is that something to think about? Maybe it's just me. I should be looking up in the disciplines that he had. I should be looking up in Latin. I should be looking up in Abari. But for some reason, somebody put everything and said, this is the two. Roman and Greek. I'm sorry, Greek and what they call Hebrew. Okay? And I want to bring this up because this hopefully, not hopefully, is the way they do it, but, well, the call wasn't put there. Well, don't use hopefully. My expectation for us is to really get more conscious about examining what people just give us. That's all. Just start examining things a little closer. You know, if you hit a dog a few times or beat on a dog and you put food down there, that dog's gonna be a little kind of reluctant about eating that food because of what they saw you do to them. And eventually, no matter how hungry they are, if you just slightly like swing or move, that dog gonna jump back and run away from it because they've been hurt by it too many times. And a lot of times, in some cases, the dog just altogether just leave it alone. It ain't worth it. I'd rather get it from somewhere else to keep, because every time I try to indulge, I get hurt with you. That's why I'm at with these people that come to religion. We dived into Jesus and we got beat. Then they turn around and say, well, first of all, Jesus ain't black. He ain't white, he black. Then we thought we had it right then because we went to the black one and not the white one. Then we went out to some other names, and then you finally get around to some things. It's like, I've been kicked and hit and changed so many times by their system, it's only natural for me to ask just common sense questions. Why is a man born, raised in Rome, that tells us he speaks Abari, he was taught the perfect law of the Abas at the feet of Gamaliel, and yet I'm going to look up what he said in Greek. His two strong disciplines should have been Abari, Rome, Roman Latin. That's just my thinking. What y'all think? I don't want to push y'all into nothing. I just want y'all to think. At that point, you need to rationalize certain things. We know that Greek is always being used like it is now. Greek is strong now. How many of y'all speak fluent Greek? How many of y'all Greek is your discipline? I got people pledge Greek and don't speak it. You got what I'm saying? So they just know letters. For us formulating together, spelling something, a lot of stuff people don't know. Hello? These people put their letters together and they create sentences and says things that you don't have any idea what they told you. You playing with something, you don't know what they said. All right, a lot of this stuff always go back over to philosophy, psychology, and even Shachar told you beware lest they spoil you through philosophy. And get what it told you, see, it's vain. They're going to deceive you with something that don't make sense through philosophy. And you know, and look at today, everybody you see now need a therapist or got to go for some counseling. We never heard this stuff in the 80s. All these folk need counseling, need stuff. All this stuff go right back to the Greeks. You're gonna go back and look at all these people, who they gonna look at, who they follow the disciplines of. They're gonna go back to Freud, they're gonna go back to all these other people. These people are not of your system. This is a whole nother system. These people put you in so many different ways. These people crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy what they did. You look at these white people, and these white people can kill you with no remorse, and how they can do because they stoics. They stoics. And we try to figure out, man, how you can just kill somebody? This is a Greek discipline. A stoic is a person that love all that stuff, paint, none of that bothers them. It don't faze them. They're undeterred by it. Undeterred. You wonder why you can be on your knee begging and a white man can still kill you. He'll stoic. He's not moved by it. Do you know that's a practice? This is Search 35, the Epicurean, and the stuff that these people follow and the things that these people have done. This is the same discipline they teach you in these colleges. You'll get these guys now to try to harm myself. I don't want love or nothing to come. You better sit your head down somewhere. That ain't the discipline of the Abari. Elohim saw a hard bill rocks, he gave. If you're a stoic, you can't do that. Hello? When Yahuah came to the grave of Lazarus, you ain't gonna believe what he did. Book told you he wept. And you know what they said? Oh, how he harmed him. See, Greek discipline wouldn't work for us. That's what he was. He was a man of compassion. The man told you you're gonna have compassion on the people. That's why it don't make sense for you to try to follow these Greek and these Latin disciplines. They don't fit us. That's not the Abari way. When you look at Solomon, all his books is about love. He writing his wisdom. All these things they aspire to, the stuff these people do, you can't live by that stuff. That's why they got wiped out. You can say all these other folks, a lot of these folks, their kingdom, their empire all got wiped out and destroyed. Our people, we still him. The people you look at now, not even the same people. We ain't changed, we still the same people. They on race mixed and everything, still come right back black. All them people been washed out. All these people been washed out, moved, and name changed, city location changed, and moved them out. These people non-existent. These people non-existent. They all called out, they got pride on a whole nother name, a whole nother ethnicity. We still the same people. Everybody know the folk that came on through the slave trade war. Everybody know we got writing for our movement. We got writing fire. Lots of these people, I don't have no, I'll be honest with you, I can't find it in my book about them. A lot of these people, they know mad. The Chinese tell us, show me where you at. From my book, just show me where you at. These people don't have no writing for their existence. These people from where you at, whatever it means, it's just being, me don't know, man. You don't have no existence in my book. That's just being honest. It no existence in my book. We don't know when you got him. We know it wasn't in Barashit. These people go claim that stuff and kiss all the boot ass they want to. We don't know where y'all came from. That's just being honest. We the only folks. Everybody know where we come from. We been here. Ain't that right? How much you don't know me? Wait till it get dark. You know me, we been here. That's just being honest. People know we been here. But we don't let these people punk us out, tell a lie. Who been telling us our history? Everybody that got here 2 million years of history. Folk done been here for ice ages. Shit froze over, and your ass the only one was thawed out? Seriously? Everything froze over but your little ass. Stuff make absolutely no sense. But everybody gonna tell their story. These 8 million year ago empires and shit. I don't believe none of that shit, man. No underwater empire. I don't believe no shit like that, man. I don't believe none of that shit. These folk been living up on no water. I'll choke your ass out in 2 minutes in that sink. What descendant you come from? I see what you got. Y'all actually entertain that shit? See, amphibian people? I don't believe no shit like that, man. I don't wait my time. I cut that thing, gonna drop your ass in now. I see what you done in 2 minutes. You ain't be right now scuffing and fighting. I know you ain't coming now. I just say how long you gonna keep telling them lies. They breathe more air in than you do. Don't believe these people, man. Somebody these webs. I drop their ass right in the bottom. I shoot their ass one of them torpedo holes straight in the ground down there. I see what you got. They'll tell you any lie to make you think. So how many of y'all heard claim these underwater civilization? I don't believe no shit like that. He ain't intended for man to be up on no water. Don't tell that lie. When he put Yahuah in there, he put him inside the belly of a fish. He knew that man couldn't live down there and breathe. He knew ain't no anywhere you gonna live down here. The fish can breathe and do it. So Rekam is what we use, compassion. The womb as cherishing the fetus. A maiden will come now. A womb as cherishing the fetus. By compassion, damsel, tender love. That's Elvis shit. Tender love, great, tender, pity, womb, yeah. I don't know. White folks put so much stuff up here, everything become questionable. All right, we'll go with compassion. But he let us know he was rich in compassion. I want to make sure we understand. Can we look at the definition for compassion by the English definition? We could have went back and looked at the root of where it comes from too. And those are things that's going to be important for us to look at too, where things originated from. And I'm telling you why we don't really typically care about it, because we don't want to get to the root of where we came from. We've been beaten and lied to somebody a lot of times. That's not something we're concerned about. The biggest history we got for ourselves is a boat ride over here, and the sad part, all of us never rode the boat. I mean, just the way they told it, we all came on the slave trade. You can't multiply that many people from no slave trade. A lot of us were already here. These people conquered and told us a story about them fighting some other Spanish people that they call Indians. You know what I'm saying? Which make no sense. They're not from India. They just create the lies. They're going anything to keep truth about you away. And they want to know, this is why we destructed. Let me tell you something. When we have a clear, positive path and understand about who we are, we don't have to be as destructive. White people have their destruction, but they're not as destructive toward one another simply because they've been given a line pass. They're great conquerors and helpers, liberators of people. They take savage people, give them religion, and then they send them clothes and shit and give them little hamburger meat and stuff like that. So white people do something to create a phobia about themselves or a phenomenon about themselves, and they teach it to their kids that they've actually helped everybody else. Even the people they conquered, they helped them. In some kind of strange way. I like to help white people back. I would like to just give them some of this. I would like for them to indulge in some of this happiness and free shit I got. They'll be like, no, let me help you the same way. And you know, that is, oh, no. But see, the story is told that, guess why? So they can feel better about themselves. They can feel better about themselves when they see you. They'll never look at you as this is the product of some shit I messed up. They'll never look. The whole planet messed up behind their work. They don't acknowledge anything. They'll come along and raise damn gas up, and they're going to fix it. Raise up them asses who done stole every damn thing. Bring the gas down. But that's what they'll do to make themselves. They'll go somewhere, dig up 4 foot of grass and plant some flower and talk about nature reserve or some shit like that. They'll do some shit like go put a little old sapling tree in the ground and feel like they bringing Mother Nature. They one with nature. You effed up nature. When you got here the whole life, y'all need to acknowledge this. You need to know the truth about yourself. Why you hate, why you so destructive towards yourself. Nobody understand your plight. You ain't no crazy loose cannon. You're a person that can't relate or correlate to anything other than what they give you. All your best time has been when your ass been poor and broke. Like good time. How the hell is a good time we barely paying the rent? We ain't got no money, damn TV busted. Give me a white show like that. They ain't got shit. They don't call that no good time. They call some niggas did this shit to us. We the only people, others live in a damn junkyard. Bring the date to the junkyard, gotta drive the damn raggedy truck on a date. But guess what, them be the bedtime. What, look, $2, Pop. Oh, we need to put all that money. When you see the white show, them folk around there trying to put up $2. That's an insult. But you know what? They did to you and call it comic because they laugh at the way they put you in your situation. It's funny to them. And apparently it's funny to you because you've done nothing to change or you come up with no course of reaction toward it. What's your course of action against it? Wasting my time. All right, let's see where it come from right quick. He was going to the root, 773:55. They're called to fondle, to express love, to compassion, to be compassionate. They put to fondle. Like when you get something, you kind of playing with that's that child relationship right now. That's not ours. They got to mean something. Let's see what fondle is destiny. They better misspell phone. And should have put cake behind it. You got to put L. You put Fonda. You got to put Jane in front of that. Should be L-E-L. Well, then they got some synonyms for it. Stroke or caress, loving or erotically. Wasn't that a group? The eroticals or erotic, wasn't it a group? Don't worry about it for y'all time, okay? Fondle, stroke, or caress lovingly, or caress, stroke, pat, pet, pull, finger. See that? Those are child molest shit right here. Touch, tickle. No, look at this. Yahuah talking about tickle you. No, that don't work for me. Well, come on, let's look up their word for compassion. We can put that on light for me. On the low light. Compassion, sympathetic, pity, and concern for the suffering or misfortune of others. What that will work for us. That's why, and this would make sense based off of their definition of compassion, sympathetic, pity, and concern for the suffering or misfortune of others. All right, let's look at. Let's go back and look at the second chapter. What was that? 2 and 5. 2 and 4.
4.
All right, listen.
But Elohim, who is rich in Rakam,
Which will say compassion. They're basically using him for what?
for his great ahab, wherewith he ahab us.
Which will make sense, his compassion. And we look at how great it was with what he ahabed us with. Because we look at everything that it entailed, the fact that he gave his only begotten, that whosoever among him should not,
Perish.
which means he had sympathetic. That was sympathetic. I didn't want you to perish because of something. And you need to consider that, not let it just be a child saying that Elohim so a harp the alarm, that he gave his only begotten being, that whosoever among him should not perish. That's compassion. He was so rich and he had so much abundance of it. That's how he was able to give him up for us. Hello? Wow. And when you look at it, even with Abraham being called a friend or Rayah of Yahuah, when you kind of look at the fact that he was willing to give his only being for him because he felt he was rich in a heart toward Elohim. That's something that I desire for us to have as a Adar. I really desire for us to have so much abundant a heart for Yahuah to where whatever we have to give up, whatever we have to zabak, sacrifice, or slaughter, kill in our communication, in our connection to things, or whatever it might be, we're willing to do that because he rendered it first. I mean, if y'all want to be real about this relationship we got to have, then we really have to look at all of the relationships that he actually considered, that he actually accepted, and what were the willingness of the people. These people were willing to forsake all, forget all, let go of all, that they could attain all. That makes sense? That's what they did. We want to obtain all, have all, get all, and lose nothing. That's not equal. That's not exact. We're trying to get, like he told us about in our houses, what we're supposed to have. Just wait, just measure. Things had to be exact. Well, let's look at what Yahuah is. Are we exact in what we give back to him, to what he rendered to us? Then we got divers weights. And we got in our judgment and our mashpat. We got in our servitude. Like I said, even with, how we regard things and how we look at things is different the way he do. Remember I gave out an example when I talked about we'll look at, for a man, if he's not gay, homosexual, he's upset and angry if you call him homosexual. Faggot, punk, all of these are very offensive words. We look at, I don't do nothing to be looked at as gay or homosexual. I don't want you calling me that. I don't like people looking at me like how Claude said, I don't like a man calling me soft. I don't like no man calling, because you know it's a move, but he's looking at what soft goes with. That's feminine. So you send them soft, you send them a woman, you send them feminine. So we'll fight that because we're going to try to prove to the 15 power that we're not homosexual, gay, or soft, or don't have any of the tendency. Well, Yahuah said, well, you're a kataim, you're a sinner. Now what you going to do? Use that same vigor to prove you're not. Use that high elevation to push, to prove, to go to any level to show you not. We won't. So what does he have to do in order to spark us to get to see it? He said, well, the same way you see a homosexual, that's the same way I see a liar. The same way you see a child molester, that's the same way I see a thief. Because the only way to get us so our unaligned judgment, mashpat, is it works for us in a good sense. Because that's certain thing. What's something you don't like to be called? What's something that would make you upset, a word or a type, if you could think of one? Anybody? What? Sean? Well, some stuff we got to grow and just get past. We ain't gonna be able to fix everything. No, we're not gonna be able to fix everything tonight. Work on some stuff come to make you stronger. And put your head on my. Let me hold you closer, oh baby. No, but now that's some stuff we got to work on. But give me another one. Why you gonna throw that? Hold on, you done messed up everything. All right, I'm like Della Reeves on now I'm going to have my damn mouth all set with some orange juice and going ain't but a damn little swig in here. Why you Jake the whole damn thing? Why you start up messed up everything? Go ahead now. Who else got one? I'm talking something you consider be offensive. A B, see? A B for him, somebody else. She said that. Who else? Who? Nigger. But you know what nigger mean now though, right? What does it mean for you? Nigger. but they don't have that as a definition anymore. So but now what we came to understand, we know it was meant as an offensive term, but it's really not because they just couldn't enunciate correctly. It's niggus. So it actually meant, and even with the nigger, you know what I'm saying? It meant more than what they told. It was king emperor. And they heard us call it, and they took it on. Then look, they wiped it from our vocabulary and wiped it from our saying, and then when they gave it back to us, they made us think it was derogatory. That just show you the effects of your being in captivity. Because this was something we would, like, you know, they'll say in Africa, they big on that. They don't say that. We don't use that word here. They even stripped it from them. From the people who originally used it, they don't even use it. How much domination that is? Mizraim they actually used the word. It was a way of, hey, you know, and that's why they watch us and they start saying about rap music. They got to get out of rap. It's derogatory. They calling them niggas. They calling each other the N-word. That's very good. Because white people ain't stupid. They looking at it. You walk up and you greet each other. What's up, nigga? Man, nigga ain't doing that, man. And we know if I walk up and say, what's up, nigga? That's offensive. No, see, you pick that up right off, and they start realizing you taking something and it's coming back to you. And even the book said in latter year, we were going to bethink ourselves. Y'all got it. Now, sometimes we'll use it and we'll go with a bigger toward one another hate, but that's the same thing you have with a lot of other words we got. There's a harm in a positive manner and there's a harm in a wrong manner. Got that? So you can have a positive and a negative of the same word. Y'all got it? So what happened, they came in and that was part of kind of getting us off. We lost our communication, and when we got it, look, we got it back from him. So of course I need to trust. I gotta trust you. You took it, and then you giving it back to me. What's in it? Just like when he take your kid and rehabilitate him and give him back, you got the same kid, but he put him in a rehabilitation center, foster home. He put him in under defects. He put him in what's that, juvenile, and all this other stuff they put him in and give him back to you. And that's his rehabilitation center. You lost your child. And you telling me I still got all my same stuff now that I had before I messed up? I lost something. I was in captivity. Hello? You know how hard it'll be for a parent to teach a child about their custom and their ways when they themselves hadn't learned them or known them or accustomed to them? It makes much sense is you take a wild animal and you put it in captivity, and as soon as it mates and it reproduces, you take whatever that they make, that cub or pup or whatever it is, you take it and you put it somewhere and you rear it. And then you allow it to mate with another one that's been raised by you in nature. You tell me that the next generation is gonna have the same nature, the same understanding as the wild one, and the knowledge of where they gonna get it from? Except for what's innately in them, they won't get it. They can't get it. Y'all got it. And that's the same thing happened with us. There's no way to get it unless he come back to bring us back to our senses, or he associates us back with someone that's accustomed with our ways. Y'all got it. That's the only way to recover us. I need y'all to understand this while we're doing this. This is important. But if you don't understand the whole process of how things work with you, y'all don't understand the validity of why you need to pay attention and why you need to understand these words from both ends, because this is what you use, this is how you talk, this is how you communicate. Then they're giving you a book and say, okay, I got your writings, I just got it in English. But this is actually how it's spoken in English. These are the same people that took you away from the wild, the nature, the natural of what you had. They put you somewhere, that's why you don't have natural affection. Natural, can we look up a couple of words? Nature, natural. Can we look those words up? See, I'm a believer. I don't want nobody to teach me nothing. I want to understand first. How do you see me first? How do you see us? I said, man, you start out, so well, listen, I think we have a great opportunity here, and I think we've been doing well, and we're excelling, and we're going places, and the Lord's been good. I don't want you to teach me nothing. First of all, you blind. I'm just being honest. You have to have an acknowledgement of the truth for me. If you don't have an acknowledgement of the truth out here, I'm expecting you to pull me the truth from here. What's the truth? What's the truth about us and our future? Even about our past, what's the truth about it? Before you start telling me that, why would Yahuah ask a man to tell him what he saw before he even started moving any further? First of all, I want to know, what do you see? How do you see this before we move any further? Because this could be a major conflict when I need you to go back and dispense information. Man, you don't even have, we're not on the same page. I tell y'all, it's serious. It's serious. It's just being honest. Somebody got to know about your affliction. Even with Mushal, he looked on our affliction. He was familiar with. They say he wasn't one of us. He was familiar with our afflictions. And then he came down and became a part of our affliction. Not that he afflicted, he became a part and allowed our suffering. That's how we acknowledge Yahushua as Mushal. A man that came down, who, listen, came down. Y'all got it. He came down of himself. That came down and looked on our affliction and became a part of our suffering with us. And his desire was to lead us out of it. All these so-called Negro leaders, I told you, I don't have come and say, no. All they delivering until you stand under these people. Listen, all they leadership, let's go to the poll. Let's buy a sign and walk on the corner. Shit, the hell you say? There ain't no delivery for us. If you did have a plan for us here, you tell me all these guys are dumber than me. Nobody see how we need to establish our own. I know people been saying it. This is too easy. It's too easy. Don't y'all know we make our own afflictions? There's no way. It's too many of us. You can't kill all of us. And the sad part is, why would we be sitting around letting you kill us? It's bad that, you know what, how the law works. Your house, I come in your house. Unannounced, uninvited. What are your rights? You can invite me to dinner. You can do what? Use deadly force, whatever's necessary in order to prevent or stop the threat. Am I correct? Where y'all get that from? That's the what? That's the law. That's his law. He don't have no law, though, if a white man start whooping your ass, though. And that law about somebody coming to your house, it's all about how he sees it, too. It's all about how he sees it now. Although unannounced, there's a couple of things that actually come up now that can be questionable. First of all, I'm going to tell you what a lot of y'all fall in the trap you don't know. You actually really need your no trespass sign in your yard. You can't tell about your guy. You don't have no sign telling nobody not to come in your yard. A lot of people don't know that, though. You really need a sign telling people not to trespass in your yard. These people set stuff up to the way they want it. And the person coming out, how do you know it's a threat? These people, at their leisure, they can change and make things. People say, oh, that's just stupid. Hell, I don't know how. If people sitting in prison because shit was stupid. It's all about how they want to see it and how they view it and what day of the week it is. Because you can turn around and go from the person that's trying to defend yourself to you actually the aggressor. These people change up rules at any time they want. But you see how y'all didn't even think about it. I come in your house, you can use deadly force. But I'm whooping your ass, and I'm of another ethnic group that's white and you black. You know you better be thinking. See, they program, they give you laws that you ready to jump into and impede on, or you don't think twice when they come down to somebody that look like you. You come to them, you start weighing up the cost. What them crackers will do. Man, them crackers have you said, them crackers have you said, all the stuff you say them crackers will do, this is your shit. You let them do that. White folks ain't let up, them crackers ain't talking about what us niggas will do. Man, them niggas will come to your house, they'll take your kids out here and take your kids out there and lock them up. You'll not. What? Just you ever heard a conversation from white folks like that? Man, them niggas come here. Man, they come get you. Man, niggas crazy. Them niggas just start shooting you down. Nothing you can do. Police can't help you. Nothing. Them niggas is the police. How many of y'all done had conversation, been part of conversation, I'm talking about the fear and the power of the white folks? Just how many conversations you remember of white people talking about how powerful black folk were and what black folk can take away from everybody else and what black folk can control and nobody can stop them? See, all your fears and your phobia, you created that. A couple of them done something and the rest of us laid down to it. And now we stuck with, now it become the way, because guess what, now everybody else just fall in line. All the things we done fell in line is everything they done told us. They don't even outnumber. They're actually the minority. They're the people calling everybody. Look at the news. They'll tell you Joe Biden approval rate is down to 20-some%. Who called y'all? How many of y'all got a phone call ask y'all about Joe Biden? Where all these folks in these polls? How many of y'all were called on any of these polls? Trump, 69%. Why you ain't getting no call? I'm a registered voter. Why ain't nobody calling me? They create their numbers. They don't let you check nothing. They give you your number. So if it's something negative about you, you receive it because they gave it to you. If it's something positive about them, they gave it to themselves. It's kind of like we had grade your own paper. What the hell I like flunking myself? I did damn good. You know, if I was your teacher, I'll put your ass out of my class. I gave you that paper. You don't put an F on now? Get your ass out of here. Damn dummy. You heard her go through the answer. You should have changed it. If it was wrong, you should have changed it. How the hell marking my paper wrong gonna make me smarter? Let me get the right answer. Let me tell you the psychosis. This is what folks mess up at. All right. They get you. You do a paper, 20 questions. What? You miss 2, you get about an 80, 1 a 90. Somewhere, oh, that's 10. You miss 1, 90, then 80, 2, then how they get you. So you miss these questions, you got down, it's 20 questions, hell, you miss 11. Use a damn dummy. Somebody else, they got all of them right, they the smarter. You know why they got them right? Because they knew the answer. Once I give you the answer, guess what? Now you know that the whole purpose of school is to teach you. The way they give you school is to fail you. Okay, so how did they know that? Did it just pop in their head or they learned it? It was taught to them. Teach me. Failing me don't help me. It's subconscious. Okay. You see them damn X's on that paper and them red X's, your ass in trouble. You was a dumb. They put that sad face on that picture, do that little, put that lip on that shit. I'm trying to tell you. Give me the right answer so I know it. Give me the right answer so I know it. You could change the whole demographics of how you do things, and you'll see you'll get better people and better students. The whole purpose of school is to teach them. You got to be able to dispense it in a way where people want to learn. A lot of people it's just textbook. It don't work for everybody. Some people, you just give them the book, they can take it and go, because that's kind of where their comprehension is. Some people, you have to explain it to me or give me enough examples that I can pick it up. That's what Yahuah did to get them to get it. He gave them an example they can understand. And they learn from it. He ain't telling me, y'all some dummies. Nothing but a bunch of dummies. You know, X. No, it came to give you understanding. See, you got to get educated to realize your whole purpose is to come to dispense, understand. They don't have it. If they had it here, you wouldn't be there. I'm just being, a lot of people don't understand what your position. My job is to give you understanding. If I come in, y'all know everything, then I don't need to be here. You're here to make sure people learn. And a lot of times they come in, they're looking at check and summer and spring and Christmas and fall break. They ain't looking at hell, our kids falling. They all kids, I'm talking about every race, every ethnicity. Why is that like these kids are fighting back and lashing out with guns and shit? People talk, look at I'm being picked out. There's certain things you're not going to change. Certain things are going to be. Kids going to always market memory. That's kid. I'm not telling a kid. That's part of them. You got to just get them to understand certain things. There's certain people you don't make fun of, handicapped people, people that can't do for themselves. Y'all that's kids though. And that's life. In life, you got to learn how to bounce and how to still keep going. People going to criticize you like, hey, you can't get mad and fight everybody in life that says something negative about you. That's life. It's up to you to try to make sure it ain't true. Or whatever that is true, you make corrective measures. That's all. People are trying to, some folks get caught in hell, they got to wear that shit. Oh, they call me stinky boy, so I ain't never taking no bath. Your ass 183 years old. You ain't took no bath yet? You should have been over that. There's some people that just lock into these negative things, and that's it for the rest of their life. Y'all got it? So our goal is, like I said, I like to see where we at, how do we view it, tell y'all how I see us, then I can tell you what my goal and my expectation for us to be. and then we look at the word, and we're going to see how this is going to be instrumental in getting us there. It's not going to be instrumental in getting us there. I don't need it. I don't need no more dead end stop. I don't need no more holes to fall in. I don't need no more traps. Okay, I'm through with that. I need just simplicity. I need it just like it's supposed to be, and I need to be able to understand it so I can do it. If I can't understand it, I can't do it. Okay, this is nature. The phenomenon of the physical world collectively, including plants, animals, landscape, and other features and products of the earth, as opposed to humans or human creations. Those are not nature. Nature did not create man. That's what they're telling you here. The basic or inherent features of something, especially when seen as characteristics of it, or the characteristics of it. Okay. The phenomenon, this is more than really need to say. I don't know, just come. Okay, outside of man being created, or anything man creates is not nature. Y'all understand that? So nature basically, they don't call phenomenon. All of it's not no phenomenon. This shit ain't just happened. It's all been set aside by somebody. Okay, these are 2 decrees he set for besides the Torah, nature, and Ish. All right, this is what he said in play, and Torah, because all those had Torah when they got him. Okay, once he established them, he told them with 2, which means you good to stay, you good to dwell. Everything he set up, this is the way it should happen. Now it has to follow laws of nature, okay? Although man was not created by nature, man is not the creation of nature. Nature exists and nature has laws. Anything that you and I make is not nature. Y'all got it? So now we start to look at things that we might start to do. Let's look at it as in behavior, okay? According to nature, it's natural for a little boy, a little girl to like one another. Little boy and little girl to kiss, little boy and little girl to hug. These are things that are natural, which will fall upon a natural as to be expected. Okay, because they'll fall upon certain things that nature kind of orchestrates, you know what I'm saying, because of nature, in your nature, okay? So that's outside of man. Now, when man started to like man and woman started to like woman, now you've gone outside of nature. Yeah. Okay? That's a human creation. And man's gotten outside of what he's established. So I want to understand and kind of look at nature. So I can kind of in looking at this, I kind of want to understand certain things. A lot of these things are designated under nature, like plants and animals and landscape. Nature has a lot to do with this. Y'all got it? Nature control. Nature waters it. All these things happen. Nature plays a major part in it. Now, there are certain things he tells us that nature ought to teach us. There are certain things that nature shows us and instruct us to do. There are laws that you can impede on, and they go against nature. Hello? Yes, sir. That's what we look at. Then we look at natural. These are like stuff like this. People don't consider this. Man, they got these folks tell your ass you just collard green up somewhere. I don't know where you got this. I ain't no damn collard green. I eat them, but I ain't one. Existing in or caused by nature, not made or caused by humankind. Homosexuality. Homosexuality is not natural. It's not natural. It's not natural. Something is infused when a man and woman come together. I say even to the liking, because that's an agreement. The egg, the fetus, the egg and the seed, the semen, there's an agreement. That's it, nature. It's inside, it aligns with a nature. It has a nature. Y'all got, and it's natural. Woman said, oh, I don't know how, but I got pregnant. What'd you do? Me and Seth said, we had sex. That's natural. That's nature. Y'all got, that's a nature. So 2 men go and they have sex, monkeypox, AIDS. If you go ask a monkey, you know what the monkey say? To hell you say. Because hell don't exist. There ain't no monkey. How the hell you put a bump all over your body and you call that a monkeypox? Anything to throw. And these folks still want to admit that homosexuality come back to, but now, see, with AIDS, you can cover their head, the peel, their hair got all slick and shit. Now they pop, this is like, they can't hide this shit here. This monkey pot thing. I mean, you can't like this thing. You know what I'm looking? You one of them. You one of them. It's out here, and it's time for them to be exposed. But in looking at this, we want to see existing in or caused by nature, not made or caused by humankind. Because man will go and he'll set some things and he'll decrease some things, and he wants you to recognize when nature is in its discipline and when man is outside of the discipline of Elohim and outside of nature. That is, because you can see certain things that typically you will see the effects of. If a person had things going against them, it was because they went against Elohim. And when you go against nature, that's why the land comes with all these hurricanes like Florida, because it's rotten. And that's the way of the land trying to vomit them. Just like your body vomits when it's something does not agree. People already heard, these folks keep talking about this, like, this shit ain't natural. This is nature going, is it natural just be walking around throwing up? That's just nature. That's just natural. That's not, you say, what you gonna tell me? You done ate some that, and guess what happened? Nature gives you AIDS and all these things because it don't agree with what you're doing. Nature is showing you sick. We don't agree. Sometimes people say, I feel bad. Oh, I just need that. Why? It don't agree with me. And guess what? And we don't recognize them same symbolism when it comes down to when things work against us. Let Elohim let you know, I'm not in agreement with you. Let's look at something. I appreciate this. Amos 3:1. They call Amos. I'm over my time. I do want to talk with y'all. So y'all get ready to get their money too. I ain't hold y'all too. But since we were talking about that, and I don't know about y'all, but for me, I want to understand the debar, the word, in its entirety and how it relates out him. Because as a Christian, it almost teaches you like it's two worlds. Because we don't realize the validity of the word goes with us outside of here. Most of the time with Christianity, it only formulates and operates inside the wall. You don't see somebody shout on the street. Why ushers ain't on the street grabbing folk and having a little damn thing put on their nose trying to get them up? Because it ain't working the same way. It's something outside of nature. It's not a natural course of what they're doing. It's controlled. It's not a thing of nature or what they would consider to be called a divine. We look at Ruach, spiritual. It's not a spiritual act. It's something that people more or less have created themselves. And that's what we're trying to learn how to recognize. And what happened with us, we hadn't recognized it in the past. We just pretty much just went on and acted as though, things were something. Now we come to find out they actually weren't. And the reason why is because nobody never told us about the difference of nature and man. Hello? There's a nature inside of man. Which means there's a discipline that he put inside of man that's outside of human controllability. And it's sat there to orchestrate or to designate how things should work. Hello? But are we listening to it? I guess that's the question. Are we listening? Are we following it? Are we following the protocols of it? Because there's some things that should be working for us, they don't work for us, and we have to ask ourselves why. Are they going against, we know already there's a law that we break when it comes down to Elohim's Torah, but then there's another law we're breaking that comes down to a nature that he's put inside of us. Hello? Goodness, y'all don't know, y'all look kind of, very questionable. Very, very questionable. Because I want to make sure we get an understanding. Let's say there's 3 and 1 of Amos. All right, listen.
Shama, this debar that Yahuah has spoken against you.
So what are we listening for Shama? That's right. So that's what, if he told us to hearken, they put hearken and then all that stuff you taught to Romeo and them. But Shama to listen with the intent to do. So that's what he want to do. And he want the Beth of Yasharal to do that. So it's specific to a people, to Yasharal. All right, that'll hit all the matah, the Yasharal. He's covering all of us to tell us what we need to do. We all need to listen with the intent to do. Let's listen.
O Benim of Yasharal, against the whole Mishpachah, which I brought up from the Arats of Misraim, saying, you only have I known of all the Mishpachah of the Arats. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
See that? He said that's why he was going to punish us. So when we look at that and him talking to us, we're looking at now from what we learned from the book of Abari, they call Hebrews. When we look at, like, if I'd have read this in time past as a Christian under the antics, I looked at him just being destructive toward versus looking at, as he taught us, we learned in the 12th chapter of the book of Abari, which father chasteth not his benin. He looked at ownership. You're the only one I've known. You're the only people. And I'm looking at, I brought you up, I delivered you. Now I'm going to come back, and this word that you're getting is going to be against you. I want you to shama with the intent to do, to know, to make sure you understand this. And now I'm going to give you a recourse for your actions. All right? Let's see what it told.
Can two halak together except they be agreed?
So what we're going to use now for our understanding of this? Who? Yoke, ox. That's not bad. Who you said? Who? Exactly. Exactly. That's how we learn nature be in agreement with you and against you. Just like with Adam, long as he was in harmony with Elohim, it put him in harmony with nature. See, this is the thing we have to watch too. You're not going to be in harmony with nature unless you're going to be in harmony with Yahuah first. That's how everything going to pretty much kind of flow for us. You'll see when nature in a harmony, you'll see the bees, you'll see the birds, you'll see how the water flow, you'll watch how things just operate, everything working in a harmony. You'll see the fish flow, everything's working. When it becomes chaotic because something broke. A link in the chain was broken. You know, something was disturbed. And that's what we start looking at when it comes to Elohim, and that's what we want to try to understand. For me, I want to know how did we get to this point is because my belief is that we didn't pay attention to the odds, the signs. Because things should line up for us. Things should kind of line up to make sense. For us, a lot of things don't make sense. A lot of things don't make sense that we ain't had a leader in this much time. Nobody came along to talk to us to try to move the people and try to bring the arm together. I mean, just being honest, when Mushak came down, he came to call Yasharal. And his assembling of Yasharal, other people heard and they came. But the call was to Yasharal. He told them, I've heard their cry. He said when Yasharal was a Ben, he said, then I hardened. When he was a child of Yah, he said, then I hardened. And I called my Ben. So how did other people come out? That means they had to convert and become as. They had to convert and become as. So when Yahushua told us, except you be converted as a little child, you should know why, which means all the people had to convert. That's not a behavior I typically display. That's not an action I typically do or have. But if it's going to allow me deliverance and get me out of my detriment and my destruction, I'll conform to it. That means people have always had to understand, and they had a choice. That even though he called Yasharal out, people forget, they came out a mixed multitude, which means all of those people converted. Conversion did not start with Yahushua. People have always converted. Hello? They had to. When Yaakov took both of his Ashar, they had to convert. They came from idolatry. But when he was taking them up to go to the Beth Elohim, he told them they had to be converted. They had to take off them clothes and be clean and bury all them idol gods, Elohim, up on our ox. He said, because we're going to the Beth Elohim, which means they converted. Was that their customary way? Was that their natural way of doing things? They had to convert if they were going to the Beth Elohim. Hello? And we can see how Elohim allowed things to work for him even when things didn't seem to work toward his tube. Y'all got it? And that's what we want to recognize. Because sometimes we'll question when things happen to us, and it's not always because we've done things or reward for old things. It's so we'll consider because other people are watching. When we read Romans 15:4, it tells us that whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the Nakum might have hope as they will write it. Because we're going back and reading. It's teaching us about other people that came through, and these people suffered and persevered. Most of our struggle is not persevering. Most of ours is steadily struggling. It's rare we persevere, rare, and short-lived when we get it. These people ruled and had periods. They ruled in dynasties. You know what I'm saying? Daoud Benin just kept ruling. Daoud didn't have Solomon and then the Malkut were done. You know what I'm saying? There'll continue to be people ruling. It was broken back down to his being ran what? They reigned right over who? Yahuah. That's where Daoud started. They kept ruling till he put them right back. They've been an establishment, so they had dynasty. Niggas don't run in dynasty like that. We don't think on dynasty. You know what they do dynasty? What they call Chinese and Asian people. They'll call it the Ming dynasty. Because that's when families continue to rule. We ain't know that. People never taught us that. We had one time somebody in our family did something to end the story. See, we got to learn how to set ourselves up. That's why it was so important about Yahushua. Upon the increase of his and upon the throne of Daoud, there shall be no end to a rule and to establish it. He said the zeal of Yahuah has declared this. That there was going to be a dynasty where there was never going to be a change. There was going to be a continuing rule. And we want to try to be a part of that, but we need to understand how things are working around us. And we got to start considering things our inner self. I often consider, and I ask Yahuah, I want to learn how to shakar him with my inward parts. You know, I didn't understand that, but if you think about when they would do Zabak sacrifices, the thing they would offer would always be the inward part. They would do the quarters, the hind, but then he would want the heart and he would want the liver. And you know, you think about it, who want that? But then he told me he want me to harp him with my whole law. You know you couldn't cut half the heart and give it to him. So guess what they understood, the Kohanim? They understood how to shakar him, to adore him with your inward parts. For us, I deal with y'all. I just didn't think about it. I just really didn't. I didn't know what he was talking about, and I didn't want to question God, so I just, what he said. Yep. I had absolutely no understanding. Y'all understand that? But now when you consider, they had to take the caul above the liver, the two kidneys. These were a vital part, and he wanted them, and he wanted us to give them to him. So when he came back and said, I want you to harp me with your inward parts, we understood it from the Zabak. These were not things that were far outside of expectation for them or understanding. They knew how things had to be presented, but before I could get my inward side, there was an outside presentation that had to be done, but then we had to do what? We had to go and examine the inward parts. Now we got to go and we got to do an examining. Just like we examine, like us, when we examine, typically what we're going to do? When you get ready, how many of y'all used to go out to the club or go out? How many of y'all used to check your inward parts? Make sure your heart and liver, your kidneys, all that. What was you checking? Outside. Make sure your hair was cut. Make sure your clothes were right. Make sure your shoes wasn't tore up. Make sure you had your stuff. Make sure you stank. All this stuff you did. But then you start examining the inward parts. These were typical things that man don't look at. I don't see my inward parts. But then I look at, we had to come and we had to cut these things and we had to present them to him. And these were things he said, I want these things. We realized Elohim wants them, and I'm going to give them to him. Now he come along and say, you know what? I want your inward parts. You want me to cut myself open and give you? No. I want you to shakar me with them, with your vital parts. I want your heart. I want your bowels of compassion. I want you to give me all of that. Give it because I desire it. You knew how to do it from the animals you brought in. So now I want you to now transfer all these things, and it gave us an opportunity to learn. I want you to give me that from you. That's what I'm working on. I want to give him my inward parts. Hello? I want to have a desire for my inward parts. Hello? He told me that David was a man of his own law. I want to be able to, this is something that we need to accomplish. That, you know what, people think, you know, what scare a lot of people are from desiring to be saved, looking toward being saved, because saved people broke. Saved people don't have nothing. They had to give up everything they got. I'm telling you, that's the illusion. The illusion ain't people giving up everything they got. It's a thing of people giving up themselves. Because your first dedication is to him. He don't mind you having things. I told people, only problem you got when things get you. That's the only problem. Isn't that wrong with things? If it's his two pleasures that give you the mouth cool, how has he got a problem with you having stuff? He got a problem when things have you and you can't let them go. He got a problem when you can't bedall from them. And he always wants to have that mindset to be able to let go of, forget. Just don't worry about it. Walk off from it. Separate yourself from it. Because he always want to make sure we keep that relationship that he left. Listen, Daud said he did something with the word. He dug a place in his mouth cool that none of his Abadim could go into. Daud had, that's what he put in his inward parts. Where Elohim wanted me to serve him at. See, before we would take those and we present them on the altar and we would offer them up to Elohim. Now I want you to take my debar and put them in. I want you to keep them. I want you to keep them just like you do a treasure. Typically, you don't keep stuff on the outside of the treasure chest. Where you put them at? Well, I want you to let your inside be as a treasure chest. And I want you to hold and keep things in it. Things that's near and dear to me. Things that connect to me. And if you keep them, then you and I'll connect. Y'all understand this, what I'm telling y'all? And I think what's happened, we've read for so long a time and we've been trying to learn words and going, we hadn't learned little small principles of what he wants. I want your inward parts. Because we're giving other people, what'll make me lie? What'll make me steal? What'll make me commit adultery? What'll make me lust? What'll make me fornicate? What'll make me homosexual? There's a desire for something. It's to obtain something. That's already, if I lie because I'm trying to get something, I don't want something taken from me. Hello? So Yahuah said, I want that. I don't want you to lie. I want you to give me that what you desire, and let me be your desire. Hello? Above anything else you see. I'm sorry if I come rambling on. I just want to get this right. I don't want to fake and pretend to know something or fake and make up something. The man wants something that's really simplistic that I'll just be honest, I just never thought nothing about it. How many of y'all thought somebody, when you heard maybe your inward parts of him or serving him inwardly? Anybody had any thoughts for that? You had a thought? You had a thought? But did you have the right understanding? You see what I'm saying? Because you want to know, but he put things there for us in the debar, in the Shachar, so we can see that they actually gave him the inward parts. And now I'm looking at, I hadn't done that. And I hadn't done it because it's impossible unless you have the understanding. A lot of times we will lie to ourselves and say we have, but we hadn't. You couldn't have even understood it. How could I have been mistakenly serving Yahuah? No, this is not a mistake. This is purpose. Like a purpose for us to set the consider these things and look at. We have to go and examine ourselves because he wants our inward part. And we try to look for chinks and defects so we can correct it because we're trying to present things. He told me that's acceptable. Can we look at what the word acceptable is? I'm going to get ready so I can get through with y'all. That's a little different. I just want to know the truth. I don't want to lie. Let me tell you something what you don't do in the last day. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself about somewhere you're going and you ain't going now. Don't do it. It's something you want to know and he wants you to know. And what happened with people, people rather go in imagination. He ain't left nothing in my imagination. He said it became vain in their imagination. And their foolish law was darkened. I don't want my imagination working. That's what a child do. They want to be. I'm not trying to do no imagining about. I want to make sure the man that left too much word information for me to be playing with imagination. Acceptable. Able to be agreed on. Suitable. I didn't know this was a definition. I would not have thought about able to be agreed on. How many of y'all would have thought that answer, or had that answer for acceptable?
Only one of them.
Able, suitable?
Yeah, like that answer is acceptable.
Yeah.
Like
It's suitable.
Yeah, not to degree, but I mean like better than one of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Depending
But
on context.
able to be agreed on? I want to look at that. I know it's their definition, but that's something that, and he even told her, can two walk together? Acceptable. We have to agree on what's suitable. So now what did he do? Let's look at how does he get us to agree. He gets us to agree on first, he gave us a declaration of what it is. He said, this is right. Okay? This is right. Watch the harmony of right. Watch the benefits of right. Okay? This is right. All of this is right. It's two. It's right. All of it. Watch how it's orchestrated. Watch how it operates. Watch the endurance of it. Then I'm going to show you what's not acceptable. What's not acceptable has a term limit to it. It's being torn down, it's being stopped, and things are working against it. And when you watch it, you'll be able to recognize this is acceptable. This is not acceptable. Based upon I see how it's worked against and what happens to it. Y'all got it? What's acceptable has a harmony to it, and it has an endurance, it has a longevity to it. It has a connection to it and a desire to it. Then you start to set to consider, which of these would you want to do? Which of these is right? Now, whether or not you'll take to him, you should when you see what's not acceptable, what he does to it. How he cuts it off, how he afflicts it, how he destroys anything he can get, how he'll let it go, and he'll render it at the last end and destroy everything that connect to it. You see it as a trap, and you see the enduring substance of that which is acceptable. Hello? We all agree. Based upon, just like when he gave them the Torah, you know how they agreed on it? They said they didn't want to die. So you agree it's right. Then you agree it's right. Because if you don't want to die, you need to do everything that's acceptable, what's agreed upon. That's why it's a beret, it's a covenant. That's what he made with him. He says it's a covenant. We agreed on this. Hello? How did you think I was walking with you when we came out of Mizraim? We agreed on this, right? You said you wanted to go. You were tired, and I was ready for you to go, and I didn't like what they were doing to you either. We agreed on it, that you'll come and you'll go with me. We agreed on before we got it. I told you that you would come here, and you would come, and you would adore me here at the regard of foot at this mountain. You agreed on it, and I gave you my Torahs. Which if a man do it, he even live by it. That means all that it entails. If you do something against, it gets you, and we agreed on this. So he taught us how to have a complete harmony with him. How to have a complete harmony if we do all his Torah, if we keep all his statutes, then things will work to us to a benefit. But if we turn aside, if we forsook, which means we left off our obligations. Hello? That's the truth. Y'all know how we look at people, fathers that run off and leave their families. Deadbeat, rotten. Isn't that right? How we look at mothers that walk up, run off and leave their kids. That's how we look, dirty hole, whatever it might be, slut, scandal, whatever it is. And he come back to look at and say, well, you left your obligation. You slut, you dirty whore. You punk, you no good nigga, you walked off and you left your obligation. Yahuah looked like he stood still. He stood to the same thing that he decreed. He never moved from it. And with all our running, all our hiding, and all our messing around, we still had to come back. It show you right, you still got to come back. It don't make sense to run out when you got to come back. If I run from something, I don't want to see it again. I ain't run from no boogeyman so I can run into him again. I ran from him, I don't want to see him no more. If you ran and looked for it, you ran that you don't see it no more, but you still got to come right back and see it in the mosh pot. So I say all this, wherever you have to go there, for us to really sit back to consider what's the most logical, what's the best way for us to operate inside of what makes harmony and what he agreed to, or to continue to go we going, and that way it's going to be a destructor and it got an end to it. And your answer need to be based off of what you know. But I'm going to tell you what you got to do in order for you to stop committing talk. First of all, as the book said, I didn't understand, I do, that he that come out of him must among that he is, and that he is a rewarder to them that diligently seek him. And if I get off the path to go and do something contrary to what he stated, then I'm not diligent in my seek. Can I look up can we see what diligent is, please, before we go? Are y'all looking at the definition? As in to know it? Or you just looking so if you get asked? Diligent. Having or showing care or conscientiousness in one's work or duty. Hard working or industrious. Well, they used to say how they discovered many caves were located only after diligent search. So they couldn't find it unless they stayed consistently behind it. And those are the people that Elohim reward, people that continue to go without swaying, without giving up, without wavering. Y'all know that? And you know why you haven't found them and why you ain't going to find them? Because you're not diligent in your search. The reason why a lot of people don't find it, because a lot of people get some trinkets along the way and they'll give up. It's kind of like some of them game shows. They'll tell the people they can take what they got right here, or you can go out there and say, yeah, I just don't get it. Then when they came, they didn't come there to get that little bit of whatever they got. They just look at, I'd rather take this and take a chance at losing. And people will do the same thing that come to Elohim. You can't lose searching for Elohim. You can't lose. The only way you're going to lose if you start out and you stop. If you start out and you stay persistent, you stay consistent, you can't lose. But you got to look at other people that did it. Hello, even the book tells in the 11th chapter of the book of Abari, he said they searched for a city. Whose builder? That's what the book said. How many cities you think they crossed along the way? They had to be diligent. They had to be diligent. They had to be in a constant pursuit after. And that's what we got to do. And a lot of times we don't. We settle along the way because we'll get some things or some things will happen for us. That's not the reward. And this is the same thing our forefathers did. Along the way, they were ready to settle for some land before Jerusalem. Man, it's tiring. The man took you the long way. And you know what? To see how consistent they would be. A lot of people gave up along the way. A lot of people started looking at going back. That's why he told them, I could have took them a shorter way. He took them a long way for a reason, to see would they be diligent in their search. Or would you just sell out for the first thing that come along that's close enough? People do that from relationships to careers, and most of all to Elohim. That's why Jesus fed a lot of people. He don't require a whole lot. You don't have to say, all I got to do, you want Jesus? Come, Jesus. You don't have to say that. He ain't got to just sit there and just wait on him. If it was Elohim you were serving, your ass would be left. You got to open your mouth. Ain't that right? The book, you got to call upon him. Ain't that right? You got to call upon him while he's near, while he's in the vicinity. Ain't that right? This is the thing we have to consider. There are a lot of things we bought into along the way for years. We can't use it anymore. We can't use that anymore. Now we got to come up. It's time for us to get grown. It's time for us to sit down and have real understanding talk before we move any further with anything else. What you willing to do and what you trying to do. That's all like I tell people sometimes they ask about come by a car, they're jumping all over the place. I said, what you trying to do? I said, I don't want to know what you're trying to do. I'll tell you whether or not if it's practical. I said, I'll be honest with you. It might not even be a good idea for you. Because you can see people just moving and trying to just, I don't know, and I'm kind of, well, that's the bad thing to do. You need to know what you're looking for and what you're doing before you start out. I'm not jumping all over the place. I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Yahushua. Y'all hear me? I'm looking for Elohim and his Sadiq and everything that entails. I'm not jumping all over the place. I'm like Shaul, I'm not the one that beat at the air either. I'm running the race with certainty because I'm trying to obtain. Y'all got it? I want you to obtain. You need to obtain, but you need to be truthful with yourself on where you're at. There's a lot of snares out here. There's a lot of snags out here. That man crashing the whole world around us on a whole lot of things. And it's time for us to make sure we don't go down with the rest of these people. There's a lot of people praying and serving and doing a whole lot of stuff. Elohim not going to get all these people. He's not taking all these people with him. He's only taking a particular people that's willing to do something different than everybody else. Hello? See, the masses already got their level set on what they're going to do. He's looking for some people that are looking to do something beyond the masses. Y'all got it? Willing to lay down even their own Kai. Hello? Separation come in, division gonna come in. A lot of that's one of his biggest things. He won't multiply after he divide. Look at Abraham. He couldn't have made more people from Abraham when he was in his father's house. He could have. He said, I use division, then I multiply. You do differently. He said, I divide, then I multiply. Y'all got me? And when you understand his math, you ain't gonna believe it. Then things start adding up. That's how things start adding up for you, the way he does it. It makes sense. After he separates you, he said, then I can multiply. Y'all got it? So I'll make sure, but if you go the way the system teach you to go, that's why a lot of people fight it, because they got a set system in their mind, how it's supposed to work, and that's their discipline. That's not Elohim discipline. He said, I don't work the way you do. I declare the end at the beginning. You'll write a damn 900-page novel, and the shit at the end, man, I got time to be reading all that shit. He said, put it in the beginning. Poor man fell asleep. He's already declared mine. He's already declared the end at the beginning. Hold on for a minute. You still supposed to watch all the movie. But the thing is with him, I'm saying the way we do things, you keep reading till you get to the good part. He said, man, folk fall off. I declared at the beginning. Y'all get it? That's why, and that's how we understand and we know that he has knowledge of the fact that he could tell us things before we even got there. There's no way that this system had ran it long with this many change of hands of different rulers and different empires, and yet what he told us still operating the way he told us. Still operate the way he told us. Even just say it started in 1614, they claim, or whatever they put, 1611. 1611 is too hard. You know how many folk that came and ruled and fell since then and keep going, and everything still happened the same way he told us? Because it's right. Now we got to look at how important it is for us to make sure we're right. All right? That's two.